What up, YouTubers? It's back, and I'm gonna finish the fourth guy speaking. I was reading after the floorboards that match up with her broken fingernails. Then yeah. Okay, this is continuing from. I'm gonna read the last sentence and then continue. She then finds scratch marks in the floorboards that match up with her broken fingernails. She decides to contact a man who specializes in ancient languages and comes to know and identifies the words in the tape as Sumerian, one of the most ancient languages in the world. The words examine and destroy are translated from the tape. He then tells her that if she were to go to any Sumerian exhibit, she'll find strange etchings on stone tablets of creatures that looks especially alien, as well as pictures that are undoubtedly rocket ships. Later, Abby gets a phone call from Scott's wife. He is hysterical. He has an unexplained bruise on his upper arm and wants to be hypnotized again to get the voices out of his head. Under hypnosis, he bolts up, screams, and levitates while speaking in Sumerian. Sheriff August goes to Abby's house and tells her Scott's neck is broken and is paralyzed. Convinced she caused the injury, he begins to arrest her, but Dr. Campos arrives and pleads for clemency. The sheriff relents, but says she cannot leave her house, and places an officer outside her residence at 3:33 a.m. Deputy Ryan wakes up, sees something in the sky, and then rushes in the house. Abby's daughter, Ashley, is found to be missing. Hysterical Abby says she saw a beam of light come down, and they took Ashley to the ceiling. The sheriff thinks she's insane and removes her son from her custody. To get Ashley back, Abby said she must contact with these beings, and the only way to do it is to be hypnotized. I remember what she saw. Dr. Campos and Dr. Odusame tape her session, and once hypnotized, she remembers seeing the white owl looking down at her, smiling. Then she said it's not really an owl, and begins to scream. Oh, jeez! Oh! She also screams various words in Sumerian, including "I am God." Yet it is not her voice. Something is injected into her shoulder, and she remembers Jill's, and the tape goes blurry again. Also, back to the interview in 2002. Abby says all three of them were abducted and then returned. They have no memory of where they went, but then they asked if the entity was God, as it claims. She remembers a feeling of total hopelessness and doubts it. Back in 2000, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, she wakes up in She wakes up in a neck brace in the hospital. Chef August is with her and speaks very calmly. He asks her how her husband died. She tells August he was murdered. Then Sheriff pulls out two photos, one of a gun and one of the man with a bullet in his temple. It's revealed to her that Julian Vergov, committed suicide because whatever he was after drove him to the edge. She tries to maintain that Will would never do that. That he was murdered in their bed, stabbed to death by unknown intruders. She must have unknowingly created a delusion to repress the actual events of that night because they did not make sense. The interview in 2002 ends and camera zooms out to show that Abby in a wheelchair, as her neck also broken. It would be insane that Abby was cleared of any wrongdoing, particularly in the disappearance of Ashley, and that she was never found. Her son Ronnie still blames her for Will and Ashley and is estranged from her. Abby left Alaska and now lives in the east coast of the continental U.S. Nome had the highest number of unsolved disappearances in all of Alaska, and the FBI has visited him much more than any other Alaskan city in the last 50 years. So that's some pretty creepy stuff. My last video was Creepy Talk with Mizukifan Part 1. This is going to be Part 2, even though it's going to be the final part. So this is really freaky. I'm going to put last to see what goes on here. creepy. Speeders! I'm just kidding. Paranormals.
Is there anything that would provide a danger should stop people from coming here? There's nothing here that seems angry, as being aggressive. Well, it may be tragic and sad. It's not dangerous. So that is what we've got for you. Great. Thank you so much for bringing us in. It's been incredible. Thank you for coming. Thanks for all the information. All right. Thank you. Well, I think GHI did a fantastic job. If I come from work with something we ever would, I have no explanation.
GHI.
I started this off being very, very skeptical, but I'm changing my mind. GHI have certainly provided me with more than I expected. When you and I started this a couple of years ago now, I think these were the kind of cases we kind of talked about and dreamed of doing. To go out there, just be completely isolated, out in the middle of nowhere, us against the elements, us looking for the paranormal. This is what it's all about. Now, it's certainly not your typical prison I've ever used to. So it was a memorable experience watching. I certainly will pick up to make real that memorable experience here. All right, man, well, as Dustin would say, rock and roll.
On this episode of Ghostbusters International, the team investigates the apparitions of Costa Rica's Duran Sanatorium.
Oh, jeez.
A supernatural plea shakes Brandy to her core. Then, GHI heads to Jamaica to investigate one of the world's most notorious paranormal hotspots.
Welcome to Roswell Great House.
And all capture the legendary White Witch, looking through a curse on the team forever.
This is some pretty creepy stuff. It'll be like dark by the time. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the game, not the game. So yeah, the game, not the game actually. So I'm gonna check what the score is on the game. The fourth kind is creepy. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm not gonna see it like part by part by part by part to see how freaky it is, but I'm gonna see pictures. The fourth kind, so I'm gonna do this like really fast. That is so freaky though. That something staring at her and realized that it was not an owl. Gonna go to MLB.com. She was like under hypnosis and realized that it was not an owl. That's freaky.